Glaciers. Glaciers are formed by the continuous collection of snow on high peaks. The weight of additional snow compresses the earlier falls into ice, which is slowly forced down into valleys. Continental glaciers, or ice sheets covering whole continents, are now found only in Greenland and the polar regions. However, at one time similar ice sheets covered most of northern Europe, Canada, and northern USA. In the southern hemisphere, because of the smaller land surfaces, the effect of the ice sheets was limited. Much study has been devoted recently to the glaciers of Mount Kenya. Here, there are 10 glaciers which appear to be slowly shrinking in size, and 5 others have disappeared altogether. It is though that the climate in this part of Africa may be getting possessively warmer. The giant ground cell plants on the slope of Mount Kenya were at one time known to grow much lower down but are now isolated plants near the peak. Electricity. Electricity is very useful as long as we do not get in its way. But it can make trouble for us if we do. Luckily, we have a way of avoiding this. We can wrap electric wires in coats of rubber or plastic. These coats are called insulation. Electricity cannot travel through a coat of insulation, and so it runs along safely inside the wire. If a current of electricity runs through you, it gives you a shock, and strong shocks are dangerous. They can kill you. So, it is safest not to meddle with electric wires or machines. An electrician knows how to work with electricity and he does not get hurt. Usually, he turns a switch so that no current at all comes into the wire on which he is working. Indian culture today. What one wonders is the lowest common denominator of Indian culture today. The attractive Hema Malini, the songs of Vivid Bharti, or the mouth-watering masala dosa. Delectable as these may be, each yields pride of place to that false symbol of a new era, the synthetic fabric. In less than 20 years, the nylon sari and the tarlatan shirt have swept the countryside, penetrated to the farthest corners of the land, and persuaded every common man, woman, and child that the key to success in the present day world lies in artificial fabrics, glass nylon, crepe nylon, terry mixers, polyesters, and what have you. More than the bicycles, the wristwatch, or the transistor radio, synthetic clothes have come to represent the first step away from the village square. The village lass treasures the flashy nylon sari in her trousseau most lovingly. The village youth gets a great kick out of his cheap terracotta shirt and trousers, the nearest he can approximate to the expensive synthetic spotted by his wealthy city bred contemporaries. And the neo rich craze for foreign is nowhere more apparent than in the price that people will pay for smuggled, stolen, begged, or borrowed second hand or thrown away synthetics. Alas, even the unique richness of the traditional tribal costume is being fast eroded by the deadening uniformity of nylon. Honeybees. Honeybees make their own hives in hollow or they use the hives that men make for them. In each hive, there are workers' bees who make the honeycomb out of wax and others who guard the beehive and collect food. There is a queen who lays an egg in each cell of the honeycomb. The young bees are fed on nectar and pollen. Honey is made in the bodies of the worker bees from the nectar and pollen of flowers. Every year, the old queen leaves the hive and she is followed by a swarm of bees. Candidate of election. Any person who wishes to be a candidate for election to the National Assembly must prepare 4 copies of the nomination paper in the prescribed form, Form E. He must also make a declaration in the prescribed form, Form F, stating that he is qualified to be a member of the Assembly. A day is specified in the election notice for the receipt of nominations. The nominations papers and the declaration must be delivered to the returning officer between 9 a.m. and 12 midday on that day. Delivery may be made by the candidate himself or by the person who proposed or by the person who seconded him.